Welcome back. And so Dr. Ambrose Igboke, chairman of the Public Relations Association of Nigeria in Enugu chapter, Dr. Igboke will be joining us shortly. And we have quite a number of, reports centering on security from the dailies this morning. It's a spread of security concern. Either it's The Guardian or the Telegraph, or even This Nigeria. It appears as if all the editors are on the same page. But we begin by looking at the Guardian newspaper this morning. The Guardian newspaper, of course, leads with the response of the federal government, of the president. Tinubu declares emergency on insecurity, backs governors on state police. And we see, I believe this is coming off of the heels of the Southwest Security Governors Forum yesterday. We see there representative of the governor of Cross River and the deputy governor, Dr. Peter Odeh, representative of the governor of Osun State and the deputy governor, Prince Kada Adewusi, representative of the governor of Oyo State. So we see the Southwest governors, the picture spread on the front page of the Guardian newspaper there this morning. Tinubu declares emergency on insecurity, backs governors on state police. It's a page 6 read. If you like to, get further details on some of the propositions of President Tinubu on the declaration of a state of emergency on insecurity, and of course the resolutions of the Southwest governors who met yesterday and also made similar pronouncements, particularly as they have to do with intelligence gathering and increased security in the southern region, not just the Southwest region now. That's a meeting of the Southern Governors Forum. And there are other stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. We also see lawmakers declare security collapse, seek death penalty for kidnappers. That's a page 6 read also on the inside page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And quite a number of other stories from the front page of the Guardian newspaper. And let's head over now to the New Telegraph. The New Telegraph this morning also leads with security concerns. Tinubu declares security emergency, orders more recruitment into armed forces. That's a page 3 read from the New Telegraph newspaper. Total of 50,000 policemen to be enlisted. Orders forest guards deployment by the DSS. Warns security agencies against compromise, collusion, negligence. Approves use of NYSC camps as training depots. Urges National Assembly to expedite legislative process for state police creation. And we also see the picture spread there from the New Telegraph newspaper. The governor of Delta State, during the budget presentation for the 2026 appropriation year yesterday, is captured also on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper. And we see right under the nameplate of the New Telegraph some other interesting stories coming through. Tinubu appoints non-career ambassadors for UK, US, and France, sends nominees to the Senate. So we're going to be seeing that on the floor of the Senate today, screening of non-career ambassadors. Of course, this follows concerns of the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern and the proposition of a military invasion of Nigeria, following continued security concerns, the legislation rather of U.S. congressman who made that proposition before President Trump deployed executive powers to designate Nigeria as a CPC. So how does this also, firm up diplomatic relations with Nigeria, between Nigeria and the United States, to ensure that there is a partnership in the area of security that also, takes into cognizance Nigeria's territorial integrity and sovereignty as a nation, such that, Nigeria deals with this very, very worrying concern about proposed military intervention of the country. So, of course, that will, form conversations in the coming days. And right beside that, we'll also see Boko Haram members found on army list. That's coming from, an honorable member during the debate on national security at the House of Representatives yesterday. And there's a rider there urges lawmakers not to recommend terrorists for recruitment into the army. Jeffrey joins us now. Jeffrey,
good morning.
It's such a relief to have you back.
Well, what happens on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, they describe it to you, you will not understand. I don't know what really went on, but the place is too prone to accidents and incidents, especially articulated vehicles. I was counting, there are 2 accidents. I don't know what occurred where, but good morning to Nigerians. It's a very beautiful day. It's Thursday, 27 days down the line, and going back to the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway incident, I think I saw a vehicle, I'm not sure what that vehicle is called, but there's one that is like, it carries gas and all of that. That was as you're coming on outbound Lagos, just coming on the bridge. And then as you get out of the bridge, there's another set of accidents. And then we saw officials trying to direct everybody. I've said it before, we need something urgent on that stretch of Lagos, especially this busy township area of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, so that we don't have all of this incident. You're not sure of your movement and all of that. You could go out now, it's free. The next moment is something else. But hey, we have to do what we have to do. Let's bring in our guest, Mr. Ambrose Igboke. He joins us virtually from Enugu. Mr. Igboke, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Good morning.
All right, let's get started with the New Telegraph, where Bukola had read a few things from New Telegraph. Tinubu declares security emergencies, orders more recruitment into armed forces. Bukola has read a couple of the riders. What's your interpretation, sir?
Well, I'm not excited, and I'm rather disappointed that we needed to wait for the United States of America to actually, sting us into action. This is a security situation that has been on for, 16 years. People have said that Boko Haram should be designated a terrorist organization. It has not been done here in Nigeria. We talked about declaring state of emergency on security. It has not been done. What government has been doing over the years is to issue press releases and all those things over time. What we have now is that because America designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and that Donald Trump threatened that it was going to come in, that is why the government has this flurry of activities. There are Dapchi girls, there are Chibok girls, a lot of people that have been kidnapped over the years. There was no, bringing them back. After all the Bring Back Our Girls campaign that lasted, over 2 years. So what we have now is that, because of, do we need to wait?
Go ahead.
But when Jonathan was there,
oh dear. Mr. Igboke, can you hear us?
Yes, I had some technical conscious, but I can hear you now.
Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
I said it doesn't need to wait for Tinubu. Tinubu does not need to wait for Donald Trump to designate us as CPC and threatening us before they react. And this is why we said that governance has taken a backwaters in Nigeria, but taking a backstage and not really, we are not being serious about it. Because if we were, we didn't need another country to prod us into action. Bring out our guests to take 2 years. Those guys are not back. Only a few of them are back. But here, because of, for example, our president did not travel out of the country before. That was not the case. They don't issue press release, and then off he goes. Even when people are being kidnapped while he's away, he doesn't come back. And all of a sudden, they started canceling, this kind of thing. So why do we need another country to frighten us before we declare a state of emergency in something that has been a security emergency for 16 years? It's a disappointment, and it shows that we are giants with clay feet.
Very, very, very strong words, Mr. Igboke. We don't even know where to start from. But beneath just below that picture of the presentation of the budget, I think there's a flurry of activities in the state houses of assembly. where governors are presenting their budget. The 2026 budget has not been presented. Perhaps it's what's been going on, holding back government. But beneath it is the Senate to probe withdrawal of soldiers from Kebbi school before kidnap incident. Senate probes withdrawal of soldiers from Kebbi school before kidnap incident. I'm sure you followed that story when the governor laid complaint about he was wondering who gave the order just before. I think it's about 30 minutes or 1 hour. I'm not sure of the time now, but a very short time between when the troops withdrew and when they struck. We're happy the girls are back, but it's important we know who to hold accountable, which is a very bad culture here, because nobody's ever held accountable, nobody's head rolls. But I would like your interpretation to that as well.
I don't think the Senate needs to be setting up probe and setting up committees as usual. That is our pattern in this country. When they set committee, they will recommend, and then maybe the commander-in-chief will now send it to the defense ministry. They will review the recommendation, and we don't have time for such bureaucracies. We don't have that kind of time. For me, the commander-in-chief would have someone who, the chief of army staff, and tell him to get the person who is in charge there, who gave that kind of order, and the person should be fired. I mean, so that we can make lessons of this kind of things. And if the chief of staff does not get that person, he himself should be fired. This is how things are done in a very organized societies. We don't need setting up of probe and all these things. Is it forensic analysis you are doing that you are setting up probe and all those things? You don't need those things. The army has hierarchy. There's a defense hierarchy also. There's a commander-in-chief hierarchy. All you need to do is send a signal, and that this person has to be produced, and then, if possible, tried for treason, and do a kind of court martial for him if he found guilty. But all these things we are saying, probe and no probe, they will sit, take coffee, and then do recommend. Those are not the things we need now. I mean, the Senate is still behaving as if we are in a very comfortable time. We are not. We are in a security emergency here. So the president could have done a resolution immediately to recommend to the commander-in-chief, to someone, the chief of army staff, to get this person immediately, and then the person should be tried for treason. I mean, these are the things that will serve as a deterrent to others that might engage in such actions. But this, we are treating it as if it's an administrative matter. Meanwhile, it's a security issue. Indeed,
Dr. Igboke, is quite alarming, and it appears as if this concern about a loop, or how do you describe it now, in the Nigerian army, information leaking, it's reoccurring. I recall when we spoke with a resident of Ohimini local government in Benue State that was attacked some weeks ago. He also reported a withdrawal. And when the colonel, the brigadier, was killed during operations in the east, there are concerns also that he may have been betrayed by some of his co-officers. So we should keep asking these questions and wonder if there are people within the Nigerian army who are cooperating with the non-state actors, to ensure that Nigeria is continually exposed to the danger of terrorism, banditry, and insurgency. So we must continue to, point these particular leaks out to the government. But security is also the big subject on the front page of This Nigeria this morning. And take a look at how This Nigeria captions the big story. At last, Tinubu okays creation of state police, urges National Assembly to review necessary provisions. That's This Nigeria. Urges National Assembly to review necessary provisions, declares national security emergency, orders massive police military recruitment, tells DSS to deploy forest guards to flush out bandits. Beyond all of the other measures, it's the state police part that gets my attention this morning, and for good reason, because this comes against the backdrop of the ongoing constitution review that has that particular item as a very visible one that should also be getting attention now. But how does the president's now strong support for state police, how does it impact on the ongoing debate on constitution review for state policing?
First of all, I find it very worrisome that we are broadcasting our tactical maneuvers or tactical propositions on newspapers and televisions. We are telling the terrorists every time that we are coming for you. We are telling the terrorists these are our plans. We are telling the terrorists we are going to deploy forest guards. But I mean, when the tactical operations become so covert that everybody knows what we are doing on the pages of newspaper. So where is the overt? Where is the covert operation? There's supposed to be covert operation. We are not supposed to hear what is happening until actions and results are are gotten. But what we see now is that all our operational decisions about fighting the terrorists are displayed on newspaper and television. I don't know if I don't understand that kind of tactics all over the world. War programs and war actions are hidden and treated with utmost confidentiality. And when we talk about the state police issue, the state police, people have always argued, and I'm also aligning with that school of thought, which says that you cannot police over 230 million people with a central command and control system of the policing. You cannot. And that is why policing has failed in Nigeria to a large extent. So state police is okay. Some people are afraid that some governors may be able to, twist it and use it to their advantage. But again, I think that the fears about state police is less than what is supposed to achieve, because the Constitution recognizes the state governor as the chief security officer, just on paper. But he has is not in charge of anything in security. So the DSS has a director is reporting to. The Director General is reporting to. The police has an Inspector General of Police is reporting to. The Civil Defense has somebody in Abuja is reporting to. So they don't take orders from this man. The GOC has a Commander-in-Chief or a Chief of Army Staff that is reporting to. So the governor is not left empty like that. But now, if there's state police, the governors cannot be held responsible for security in his own, at least on that primary level. Then when we talk about maybe external aggression and defense system, then we can now if they need to call the federal police in, then they can call federal police in to beef up if there are state of emergencies in security. But for daily policing, another policing for chasing criminal, for deterrent and some other security actions, our state police will be able to deal with this so that the governors can be held responsible. Because even many governors now, in the name of that the police headquarters is in Abuja, they are also shying away from their own responsibility. Even the little ones they are supposed to do, they are not doing it. So I support state police wholly, and I think those sections of the Constitution have to be expedited so that we can know where we stand in terms of policing in this country.
Mr. Lots, I don't know whether the Daily Trust is ready, but there's something they are leading with, which I would like you to speak to in line with what we're talking about, which is national security. The big question they're asking is released, rescued, or ransomed? That question, we're grateful that the 50 or 51 from Niger have been released out of the over 200 or 300. We're grateful that 38 of the Kwara attack abductees have been released, and then the last and the latest is the Kebbi girls, 24 of them. But the government is a bit silent on what happened to the abductors, and that's very worrying. Were they released? Did our military do their work to rescue them, or they paid the ransom? What really happened? Bayo Nanuga, one of the spokespersons of the president, gave a reason that he contacted the bandits. It was almost laughable, those comments. I'm not sure what that means in English anyway. What do you make of it?
Joe, we have made a reason out of it because it's very funny and it's laughable that, if it was an operation that was led by the security forces, of course, it would have been broadcast everywhere by now. They would say, we use kinetic approach or non-kinetic, having all kinds of bombastic language to explain, what happened. But this time around, everywhere was just silent. So what went on there? And then for the presidential spokesperson to say that they contacted the terrorists means that they have access to the terrorists. They have contact. They have a direct line. Because how else will you explain that some people are here in this country using our GSM mobile telephony, making calls to parents or relatives or victims to bring money, telling them locations to drop money and everything. And we have the national identity number, the name attached to that number. We have all the names and particulars of each person who bought a SIM. Yet you can't track it. They have all the gadgets, all the instruments to track any call and even pinpoint where the call is through GPS tracking and the rest. So how come these people are every time in the forest making calls and talking to relatives of victims to drop money? There's a lot of questions to be answered. There are lots of questions to be answered. There are things the government is not telling us, and we the citizens are asking these questions because there was no engagement with these people in terms of kinetic engagement. Was there somebody who was told to go and negotiate? Was there a negotiator? Was there a ransom paid? Because we have come a lot of times, rescued victims have come out to say that, government were on one side, put a press release that these people were rescued through kinetic away, they fought and wounded terrorists, they ran away. And the families of the victims say, we paid money, we paid ransom to get our people released. So there's a lot of untruth, there's a lot of propaganda, and there's a lot of lies being told to the citizen. This is not the time for those kind of engagement. This is the time to settle down. Let government talk less in terms of operational tactics that they're telling us on newspaper, doing press conference, press releases. Let them work with the United States and other people who are concerned about this thing, and then let us make sure these terrorists are not spirits, and they can be routed out.
Indeed, that is the expectation, but we just wonder how long more Nigerians will have to wait for a total routing of the non-state actors. Speaking of moves, to reining on that, we see another meeting yesterday of the Southern Governors Forum, and it's captured in a number of the papers. It's in the Vanguard, it's in New Telegraph, it's also in the Nigerian Tribune. So let's look at let's take a look at the Nigerian Tribune, of course, which also leads with security. Tinubu declares nationwide security emergency, and there's a list of the measures that the president has taken. But right under that, we see the Southern governors, traditional rulers, meet, discuss security of region, approve zonal security fund, pass vote of confidence in Tinubu. Of course, that's a page 23 read from the Nigerian Tribune. But Mr. Igbope, how reassuring is this meeting of the Southern Governors Forum on security? A little too late, or it will go a long way?
We have had such, the Governors Forum of different subnationals have had these meetings in the past. They have had meetings as political sub-regions. They have had meetings as the two dichotomy of North and Southern region. They have had Northern Security Summit. They have had Southern Security Summit in the past. They are just declarations. Unfortunately for the governors, sometimes I pity them. They are not empowered by the Constitution to take security as a bull by the horn. They are not. So they just try as much as best to do what they can do, because if you do a security fund, what happens? You give it to the police, you give it to, or you train your manpower. The next minute they are transferred out of your state to another state. You want to is it to just give security vehicles to soldiers? Something like somebody like Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State. What he has done is also to create security architecture in terms of surveillance and using drones, using digital technology to create a situation room and a command and control center. I think other governors can come to Enugu to take a look at what he has done. I think Lagos also has a semblance of that. But Enugu is so massive. They can come and take a look at it. Then they can use those tactical to support the Nigerian police. Because governors are dismayed that most of the time when they train, that's why we are talking about state police, because when you know the police are in your state, they're not going to be transferred. You can give them the highest training ever, and you are investing so much in their training anywhere, and because they are remaining in your state. But again, when you spend so much money training people and they are transferred, let them keep meeting, let them keep talking to the National Assembly to see whether the Constitution can be changed in their favor. But as it stands now, there may not just little effect, because the person who is running the show is in Abuja. All of them running the show are in Abuja. There's little they can do apart from like Amotekun Ebubago and some of these things they have done, and then you know, security trust fund, and then you know, it all ends there. But the main security operational tactics and the maneuvering and you know, taking care of the security of the country is lies with the police, lies with the DSS, and for external aggression lies with the military, which the governors don't have control over.
We live in very, very interesting times, Mr. Ambrose Igboke. I was reading, I think I didn't see the communique early, but I saw the excerpt from Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and where some of the things that were decided or in terms of resolution, and they didn't fail to talk politics, to say this in solidarity with the president and the Southern presidency. I say, what kind of talk is this at this time? That tells you the politicians also feel that their colleagues on whichever side are playing politics with the security situation of our country. So all of them have to come clean. We're just at the receiving end of some of the things we see happening in our country. Ambrose Igboke is the chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts in Enugu State. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on the show, as always.
All right, to take a break, and when we come back, we'll give some legal background or legalese around what is played out. The National Assembly understands is muting the idea of prescribing bandits as terrorists. We'll be right back in just a moment. Stay with us.